I'm the interim director for information systems and development and public affairs, and I also am the project manager for a huge advanced web implementation. We're going on our 4th year with this. Some of you, if you, because we're in the middle of a big capital campaign, $3 billion, and we're not quite there, but hopefully by the end of the calendar year we'll get there. But we've gone. If you do anything with Advanced today, it's a side-based system. It's a side-based client. You do that install. Not fun, not easy. The application is really old. I bet we haven't upgraded it in at least 8 years. So we're going to the web-based, and we're going not just with the application, but with the reporting. So the AR application, dispatch, that's all going away. We're replacing it with tools from IBM. It's called Cognos. We use Report Studio, Query Studio. The company that we have purchased Advanced Web from, they've also built a data warehouse for us. And then so they built this reading to take it from the, it's an Oracle database. It takes it through the Oracle database, puts it in a staging area. We use Oracle Streams to take it from production, put it into a staging, then at night they'll go through a ETL process and build our warehouse. Hopefully it takes about 2 or 3 hours before our go-live date is Tuesday, March 19th, 2013. If your users haven't heard this, they live under a rock. I've had lunch and learns, I've had emails, I've gone to different sessions with development, all staff meetings, senior development officer meetings, Not going to say everybody gets it, but if they haven't gotten it, they haven't been paying attention to everything I'm trying to do. The current system is going to shut down on Thursday, March at noon. The Advanced and 7.1 and AR, they can't do any data entry in those systems after that. Those are 2 areas they can do that. Of course, no updates. We're going to try and keep some of that up so that they can do inquiry mode. They can look at users in advance. They can run some reports. Because that's the next use for them. The biggest thing, this is their best slide that they like. I get lots of applause when I get this. This application will work on all of these environments, which is great for them. Now, would they want to enter their contact report on an iPhone or BlackBerry? Probably not. But if they want to do a quick lookup, they're in San Francisco and they're trying to find somebody, they want to get an address, absolutely, they would want to use it for that. Now, and I had, that's a little bit wider screen for them. They can certainly do that stuff. They're under lots of requirements for the development officers to put data in by the end of the month. They get statistical reports based on where they are with their goals and so forth. So they're getting judged every month on that. So that's huge for them. And we're going to start training these people. The advanced web training for the application will start at the end of October, and then the reporting training will start in November. I'm just going to go through some of these very quickly. One of the requirements for getting into the advanced web application, we actually are cloud-based with this application. Our data, this company, Ellucian, used to be SunGuard, used to be VSR, used to be SunGuard. SunGuard merged with DataTel, so now it's Ellucian. They have a managed services area, and we worked with Jim Jokol, Shirley Payne for about a year to get that hosted services contract in place. They manage our servers, they do our DBA work, and they do our application upgrades, which is wonderful for me. We're a very small shop. For me to have handled that and work with ITS and coordinate that with them is way over what our current resources would handle. So they're down in Maitland, Florida. Today we have a router in place, and we have a server on our side. And every month we're trying to practice this migration to get our data from here to there, and works fine. But after we go live, that will go away, and we'll just rely on their servers to keep us going. But one of the caveats is that there's a VPN that people have to have. It's called Juniper VPN. And so to get to these applications, they have to have that installed. It installs very easily. Now, I'm going to go through a sort of a setup. This machine already has it on it, so I use something else that didn't make some screenshots for you. But that's what I wanted to tell you, because one of the biggest things is they have to have Juniper VPN. It's free, it's no cost. It'll load it as soon as they try and log in. Works on all those devices I just said. So it works fine. You can have joint VPN up at the same time. You can have Juniper VPN up. It has no issues regarding that. They can only be in Juniper VPN once. So if I'm logged into either Advanced Web or the application on this laptop, and I go and I have another laptop on my machine, if I go and I want to go to one of the applications there, it's going to disconnect the one here, the section here, and it's going to open the section over there. So websites are behind SSL, so we're trying to make it as secure as possible. Our data is not tagged as highly secure, but everybody knows, we've made the papers, certainly to the President Sullivan situation, fundraising was it. We have a ton of data. If that data got out about anonymous donors, free, it wouldn't be free. So we were very excited to sort of get this kind of layer security. So when they log in, so they have this, right now, Lucian creates the logins and passwords for Juniper, but that's going to switch over to us in a couple of weeks probably. But right now, they have a login and a password screen. At this point, it's like L Davis, and then there's a password. It's very tight with what the password requirements are. We're going to try and get it to be so that when we have control of it, it's LSA 3.8, so that's that same login throughout every application they go to. So they would see this screen. And the first time they log in, so they're going to see this screen. The very first time they log in on any device when they try to go, so you can see the login screen. And then the next thing it's going to say is, wants to install an add-on, and they just say yes, and it'll do the install. Now this is for IE. It looks a little different for Firefox, so I'm not a real good Firefox user, so these slides are related to IE. Past that, they're going to get to this menu screen. There's different environments, and these environments aren't in place today. So there's production environment. Development is really just for my area, information systems, and then there's going to be a test environment that they can go to as we do new releases. We'll do it in our development environment. We'll then push that to the test environment. When they say yes, it looks good, we'll push it back up to the production environment. And then there's a VPN link for them to go change their password. This Network Connect, for regular users, when they get this far, they can go to the application without installing anything else. But if I, as a database person, need to go to the Oracle database, or I need to go, some of these admin places are places where I can set some parameters in the reporting environment. You have to have another layer of security with Juniper VPN. So you click on the Start button, and eventually what happens is you'll see a little yellow key, a lock show up at the bottom. And that's when they know that so if I clicked on Start, and again, the first time they do it, it'll install some software for them, and it'll ask them some questions, and I'll go through that in a second. But in the end, you see the lock at the bottom, and now I could get to the Oracle database using SQL Developer, or I could link through Microsoft Access, and I'd be fine. So if they do click on the yellow lock, they're going to get some questions about, is it okay to install this? So I don't know if you people have admin rights. They have to have, or you have to help them. They have to be able to get through. So you just say always, and there's a couple of more prompts that will come up. I couldn't capture them, and you just say yes, 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 and then it installs, and it'll take them back to this menu screen. So they have to have Juniper. Once you get there, go back to my live section. So now you're in this menu screen. So for the application, again, this is login. Is something they're familiar with. This screen at this point, when they get in, it's going to look a little bit different to them. My login is not weird, but they would actually log in as like LSA 3H. Would be more than normal. But this is just to show you what it'll look like. I don't know if you know what Advanced looks like today. sort of quadrant oriented, but this is more web-based. We can have different, and we actually have like 5 different profiles. But for a development officer, when they log in, we've already run some reports for them. We know what office they represent. We've run some quick reports. We've met with them on a focus group. So they see more community reports on this very first page. We can personalize different, we have different profiles for different pages. So they're very excited about that because that's one of the first things they do is run some reports. The system keeps track of who they looked at last and travel around. You know, it's link-based, so if I click on biographic, I can very quickly see how many activities somebody has, how many addresses, so forth and so on. I know you don't care about that, but it is a different look for them. The database underneath is the same. The tables are mainly the same. Address is address, entity is entity, just a few more tables, and it's Oracle instead of Sybase.
Is this Java based?
I'm not sure. It's very frame based, and then basically they're going to change it. I don't think it is Java because it doesn't ask me to update.
That's good.
Yes, it's not like the
API that allows all those different platforms to work, is that provided by the cloud?
Yes, I don't have to provide anything. It's all with them.
So then I think that's going to be great for the development officers on the road. Is there any chance of using NetBadge for the login?
We were going to go that route, but we didn't get there. We were actually going to get charged to use the VPN. We were actually looking at NetBadge, but then about 2 weeks ago it became free to us, so it's a much more secure way for us. So yeah,
But the Juniper VPN login won't accept NetBadge
Right,
or certificate
right.
as a entry point.
Down the road, I don't know if we could ever make that, because that's university versus, I don't know. I have too many other things to look at right now. So. Yeah, this is not single login and sign on, and it's just what it is right now. For us to go from where we're going is huge, so it's like,
It is huge, I agree.
So Cognos had Cognos is the one thing that ties back to the university. When they log into Cognos, so I clicked on the reporting application. This login and password is really tied back to Active Directory. And for most people, it's like their Outlook login and password. Some of your foundations, if you support a foundation, Darden, it might be different. And so that might be something that, but I haven't had too many people that it's different. I haven't had too many users complaining that it's different. And so when they log in, the tools that come are very graphical. Some of this will go away. We can hide these links so that they only see reports that they really need to be able to run. But so we started to write some reports in this tool, but when we bought the tool, the company builds, with each release, they send us about 25 pre-built reports, so we're on release 1.1.2 now, so we've got about 75 reports. They're not, we have to be smart about what we present to the user. They're not all things that our users would really use. But one of the nice things, if you're doing like a Bob Sweeney, if you're support Bob Sweeney's area, or I'm sure eventually President Sullivan, it's a very graphical dashboard reporting that you can have a graph and then it drills down and you can go to different layers. And the company has provided some of those dashboards, and so we will definitely use their dashboards that go on. I'm going to log out to a different, I'm going to go back to our production. There's a difference in our dev and production environment based on my security. So anybody have any questions while I'm getting into this? The next part, I just wanted to make you aware, again, your users should know about this. They have to have VPN. And probably in another month or so, Wayne Ashby's area will probably be setting up those VPN accounts, and he's going to have a phone number, and we'll communicate that to our clients about who they need to contact for that. At this point, we have about 100